I think that's it, man. Going live now. Hang on. You're live. All right, cool, man. So we're getting there. I don't know how that intro is gonna play out, man, but we're still testing the whole going live thing. I did a test video the other day, and we're just kind of seeing how it goes. But we're live, man. We're on and popping. Welcome back to Los Bros Crypto.
It's your boy Pete Crypto LBC. You already know what it is. Follow me on Twitter.
It's your boy Super Kami Guru 187. Follow me on Twitter, and yeah, man.
Or X. Follow us on X.
Follow us on X. Right. Good looking out, man.
X gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Yo, what
Yeah,
up?
boy. So close. Almost. All right. It'd be like that sometimes. All right, cool, man. Yeah, so we're testing out this new stuff. Hey, we're developing, right? We're growing, right? We're becoming this new evolution of cryptocurrencies, of YouTube streaming, and just trying to bring you guys the best content that we can here, man. So, yeah, man, let's we got a good show for you guys today, hopefully. We're definitely going to try. And yeah, man. So
Let's start off, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I had a great day today, man. I went to go play in some snow. I
Same.
was chilling. I dragged my brother along.
Same.
We don't get much snow out in Vegas, so what we do is we go up to Mount Charleston out here and go and play some snow. We've been having some inclement weather the last few couple days, so provided some nice little sledding opportunities. Took my kids up there. Took my brother, man. It was cool, bro. I got a playback right here for us too, man. It's just clutch. Well, I can move it over there.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Yeah, no, it was dope, man. Shit. Had some fun with the nephews. My brother bear.
Motherfucking.
You know what I'm saying? My other brother bear. My sister bear.
Right, man. We're a big,
great,
just
man.
happy, family-friendly show here, bringing to you the best crypto news.
Man, it was kind of cold.
It's
It's
chilly.
been cold lately, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, for Vegas, right? Like,
Hey,
yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like, yeah, it's cold, and then you go to KC, it's like negative 16.
You know
or
what else
whatever.
is cold? Is the Democrats' fucking views
Damn,
on
you
crypto.
want to jump right into that, dude?
I'm
you
just
want to
saying,
go right
bro.
into the man, we had a whole little scheme here.
Right. Where do we want to start?
I say we start with your boy, your story of your friend, right? Who was trying to get some so we're trying to trade and stuff like that in the market.
So, you know, along our journey, right? We've met individuals, and you know, one of the things that we like advise some of our friends and family members is that, like, all right, you know, trading is cool, like, you know what I'm saying, it's fun here and there, you know what I'm saying, we do a little trading here and there once in a while, some DJing plays or whatever. But when it comes to like our actual holdings, we've decided collectively, right, after talking about it, the fact that we didn't want to concentrate so much on cashing out the highs, the current highs, right, the local highs, and trying to rebuy it back in at better prices, because there is really no telling on how the market's going to go, right? Even though we've been saying that we're going to get a little bit of a retracement back, it's going closer into February, which is what's going on right now.
Here we're
having little pullbacks.
It's full moon.
And even though we low-key kind of called that, we still, last time we talked about this, we kind of decided, like, listen, I'm not going to concentrate on that, just in case, for the fact that if it doesn't go as low as people project it to be, a lot of people are going to be missing the bottom and rebuying highs, right? And so we're like, you know what, instead of trying to actively trade our portfolios, like, might as well just DCA our way down, as we have. Most of the bloodshed has already been dealt. You know what I'm saying? What you got to lose at this point is nothing to what we were trying to, right. What we were trying to catch in the beginning.
Let me chime in on that one, man. So some of the tokens that I follow, like, religiously, dude, Pulse Chain, Hex, right? Obviously, Pulse Chain, Hex Gang. You get a feel, man. I watch these things daily. There are other tokens I'm not really too heavily invested in, right, dude? But Pulse Chain, Hex, all those are my fucking bread and butter. So I watch those daily. I gotta check out what they're doing, how they're going, right? And I'll show the screen with you guys. And I kind of just got, like I said, I'm not a TA guy, all right? So don't fucking crucify me, man, if I'm not, not fucking TA, dude. But like you can see, man, if you've been watching the market, you know what's going on. And here, like I was saying, man, like these were some good times to buy. I definitely got in down here, man. So I've successfully bought the bottom on the tokens that I like, which is great. And then a few other handfuls, right? Like Solana, and then I think Phantom I got a little bit on the low end. So like,
we definitely got Phantom on.
Yeah, so that's the key, right? But at this point when we were right here, I didn't know, bro. I didn't know that it was gonna be the low. I didn't know if it could go. I thought it could go lower. I thought it was gonna go lower. It was really hard to tell, and everybody was like, "Coin's dead." Started making its move back up. This is obviously a good buy zone. I think anything under the sacrifice rate is a good buy zone. Even now, the fact that we did this nice green God Pepe pump here, man. I think it's good. It's good that people buy, right? I have the SEC FUD right here, right? We went up 3 times the sack rate, came back down, and we've been selling off, right? We kind of were holding good here for a bit, thinking we were going to get another bounce back up, but then the SEC came out after Richard Hart, causing this fat red candle here, and dipped all the way down here, man, and kind of closed over here and just slowly started just going to shit. But we've recovered that, and guess what? We're still fighting the SEC. So like we can only go up from here when we win this SEC battle.
Remember when XRP kind of had like that little victory?
They were declared not a security.
Year,
yeah, they were declared not a security, and they pumped for a good minute.
To a certain extent, right?
Right, but it came back down because it's an overall thing, right? The markets, all the crypto wasn't doing great at that point still, but XRP had a win, so a lot more people started buying in, right? And all that money's gone back, dude. Like we can go back and look at that. We probably will later on.
Yeah.
But we'll show you. But I called it, right, dude? I was like, look, man, I was up here, right? I'm looking at this on the weekly, and I was like, man, I could literally sell. Let's see how many days I had to sell. Boom. I had 2 days here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days total, maybe selling these highs, right, at a 30, 40, 50% from sack rate, right? And I knew that it wasn't going to go much higher than that. I didn't think it was going to hit 2. I didn't think it was going to go 2x from sack rate. I knew we already had all this fat ass move, right? Already went over 100% here, and I was like, it has to cool off. It has to come back down. Me knowing this, I could have tried to sell right here and buy back low. One thing that I know for certain in crypto, man, is that nothing's ever promised. The gains are not promised, right? So realistically, knowing me, if I would have sold right there those tops and tried to buy back at a lower point, it probably wouldn't even have fucking happened. I probably would have sold those tops, and then it would have ripped up even higher, because that's just the way crypto works. Right. When you think you know what you're doing, you'll get proven wrong and you'll get humbled.
You know what's funny, bro? There's always like this little saying, bro, between like the fellow degens in the space. And they're like, damn, bro. Like, hopefully the price goes up, and then somebody will be like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm gonna sell all of it. That way it can start pumping."
Yeah.
Right. So like it's a common occurrence in sentiment when people like sell for some reason, like it starts to pump, and now they missed out on all this shit that they just left on the table. You know what I'm saying?
Right, literally, bro. And it's funny, man, because there's a YouTuber that I follow a lot. Shout out to your friend Sami, right? He's pretty funny, man. He literally did a whole video of him selling Hex. He sold one Hex token down the lows. I was like, it's all right, guys. It's going to pump now. I got the ritual. I finally sold my Hex bag. I sold Hex. I finally sold Hex. You guys can tell. Show it to the world. Because he's a big time holder too. He sold one Hex token, which I thought that shit was hilarious, dude. And he did a whole little seance and had little fake candles around the thing, dude. He did a whole little ceremony like it's gonna pump now. We're going to new highs. But that's the thing, dude. Like I could have sold, man, and then realistically it probably would have just pumped up. I don't do the day trade thing. I recommend not to trade. The one and true strategy that's been proven to work is buy and hold, man. Buy and hold.
So that brings us to the fucking story, right?
Right. So I just wanted to say that piece. Go ahead. Back to your boys.
It all correlates, right? It's good that we got that piece out. But I met some people, and here's the thing, man. When people first meet us, right? Like, yeah, we like to have a good time. Yes,
we're goofballs, man. We're goofballs.
Few drinks. Never doubt our intellectual perception of the market. Right. Like we do heavy research. We are always constantly looking at what we're holding, what they're doing, what's the next trend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not for trading, but whether to give us more reason to keep buying more and holding more.
Whether I want to keep DCAing in, try to increase my bags at a good price, or if I chill out. Like right now, I'm not gonna buy more money. At least I'm not gonna buy more Pulsion. I'm not gonna buy more of that. I think if you don't have any, I think this is a good range to buy in at sack rate. Realistically, you're looking at maybe a 50% drop from the rate if it goes to shit, which I doubt. And that's why we try to stay educated on the market and what's going on, to see what the sentiment is and how it's going, man. Whether the market's primed to pump or dump. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. So DCAing being one of the best strategies in the game. Yeah, 100%. I don't, especially when it comes to like really good plays, right? Like you'll never,
like Soldier Boy,
be fucking pissed at buying the bottoms.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad at it.
You know what I'm saying? But you will be mad buying the top, selling just a little higher, just to have to rebuy back in at even higher.
Yeah, you know that's tough. That's tough.
I've been there. Done it.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to say. When people first see us, like they're just like, oh, look at these fucking goofballs. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, joke's on you, bro. We've been in here. This is now our second cycle. Mm-hmm. Right? And people are like, oh, these motherfuckers don't know shit. They just hopped in whenever I hopped in. And now they're starting to learn like all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Starting to learn about, trading, and starting to learn about leverage trading. Crazy. And doing all sorts of like degen stuff, right? And it a lot of these motherfuckers are like stock market motherfuckers are like usually are a little more accustomed to trading like less volatile assets, and so they think like, oh, it's all cake and game. Like, I can go ahead and go into crypto and repeat this shit. Like, joke's on you, right? And so we come out here and tell you guys like, yo, this is what it is. This is our experience. This is how not to go through like what we had to go through. And people are like, yeah. But then comes like the new shiny fucking YouTuber or whatever, the next like influencer, got like a killer production crew or whatever, and they throw out like cool little videos just shilling you their bags.
Yeah.
And trying to tell you like, yo, you can make all these gains. You just gotta subscribe to our private Discord channel where you'll pay $100 a month, this and that, because you guys don't want to miss out on all these gains. Like, yo, you got all those gains. Why are you having to charge for these free information?
Literally.
You know
and with that being said, please subscribe to our Patreon at... Nah, just kidding.
JK.
We don't do that.
we give it to y'all for free because we actually fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Man. And right here on the chat, man, I got a question from our number one fan, Caroline Santoyo, even though it says Padilla there. She says she's asking what is a DCA, and that's just a dollar cost average, right? Essentially, if you were to buy, Ethereum or whatever token you tickle your fancy at a higher price, like $1,000, then you're able to catch it back at $100. Well, that brings your average down significantly, right? Whereas you just had it at $1,000, your $1,000 is what your average is, but then you buy it at 500. Now you average the two, you means the two. Now your average is 750. So once that token price hits 750, you're breaking even instead of waiting for it to hit 1,000 again. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple terms. And if you buy lower, then it goes on even lower, man. You buy it at 100 to 1,000. Now you really only got to wait for that to go to 300.
Right, and I'm gonna throw out my little definition is if, like, say you saw Ethereum at 1,700, right, and the next day came down to about 1,600. Say you have about $1,000 to put in the market, I'd put $100 in at $1,600, and if it dipped a little more after that, another 50 or 100. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of gauge at where you're gonna be at. Maybe not everybody, but we will.
Right, so that's the whole thing I was doing with like Pulse Chain, right? I knew it was going to come back down. I think the SAC rate that it's at now, I think it's going to hover there for a bit. I think it'll go up. But yeah, the lower the price goes, the more money you want to throw at it. If that makes sense. So if you just see it drop, like Ethereum, you see it drop $100, man, maybe you throw 100, right? If you had like 1,000, on the side, you see it drop down to 15, then maybe throw 150 at it. You know what I'm saying? It goes down even lower, man. It hits like 1,100. Now you really start throwing like $400 or $500 at it, and see how that goes, man.
And why not just throw in the whole 1,000 at one point? Because maybe it does come down a bit more.
Yeah, because it could possibly come down lower.
And so if you're in that mentality, like, all right, every time the market goes red, like I'm gonna throw in this much, right? And at some point it's gonna be green, red, and it's just gonna run sideways.
Yeah,
for a little while.
I'll even show you guys.
And you'll be buying those red days, and at some point your red days are just kind of gonna go parallel. To each other, right? And you're like, well, I'm not really getting much now. Like, it's not getting much lower, but I'm still buying the red days. Eventually, your sideways trail, right, with being that you're invested into a good project, is eventually going to run out of room sideways,
right?
And it's going to have to move up or down.
And can I show them real quick? Chart of Pulse Chain real quick. So I'll show you guys Pulse Chain and kind of what I was doing in my DCA strategies. I didn't participate in the Pulse Chain. I participated in the Pulse X sacrifice, and that was just to kind of get skin in the game. I did a little bit of ratio trading. Just getting my hex in from day one where the market makers weren't really up yet. And it was kind of like one hex is worth this much Pulse Chain, or one Pulse X is worth this much Pulse Chain, or this much Pulse Chain is worth this much Pulse X. I ended up swapping a lot of my Pulse X for Pulse Chain, which was great because now the ratio is significantly different. I think I got it at a 1-to-2 or something like that. And the ratio became 1-to-3, and then it became 1-to-10 eventually. So it was wild. I saw it go up. I was like, all right, I'm not buying shit. I'm gonna wait for the dust to settle. Shit starts to come back down around SAC rate here, right? I see it go under SAC rate. I was like, all right, cool, man. Like, I'll pick some up. I see it come up. I was like, all right, man, it's back at SAC rate. I got some money. I'll throw some in there. Hopefully thinking to go back up.
And then before you guys get a little like confused, right? SAC rate was talking about is a sacrifice.
Right. So it was like the pre-sale kind of, right?
Yeah.
So like, hey, we're going to launch this token, sacrifice whatever token now for freedom of speech during the COVID thing going on. And I was, I got these tokens in return because we're all like-minded individuals. But yeah, so SAC rate here, man, it came down, and then it was trading at SAC rate, and I was just kind of holding off because like, man, whatever, like I'm waiting for this to kind of go up a little bit more now. Then the SEC hit us, and that's how we got these fat-ass red candles here. SEC started going after Richard Heart. When I seen this, I was like, bet, throw some more in. And I threw some in. It came back up. I was like, all right, cool. Just kind of hold. And it kind of kept coming back down. And I was like, fuck, dude, I'm not going to make any money back on this anytime soon. It's not going to be a quick dip down and back up to SAC rate. And we were hovering down here, man, at like half, one-third of the SAC rate, which is crazy. Down here, obviously, yeah, 1/3, 0.5 zeros and a 3. And where it should be 4 zeros and a 1 SAC rate.
So pretty much like we were talking about earlier, I was like, you're buying in a little bit at a time as it's coming down. At some point, hopefully, if you stretch your money long enough, you start to hit like these support levels.
The lows,
right?
You hit the lows.
And
there's no support here.
Right. Right, the low. I mean, that is support. That's.
I mean, technically, yeah, it's support now, but we didn't see that on these days. On this whole this week right here. I was like, shit, dude.
But you see,
how much lower can this really fucking go?
You see, trade sideways for a hot minute, right?
Well, if you go to the Pulse X, man, it went even lower. It went down to all the way the hell down here, and I'll show you guys that chart later. But I wasn't really too heavily on Pulse X. I believe more in Pulse Chain than Pulse X, although I think Pulse X is going to do good moves. So just to finish the story was I saw the SEC. It was scary times. Everybody's selling. Everybody's saying, hey, it's dead. I bought some more. I seen it go lower than the SEC FUD. I was like, I need to buy more here, and I bought majority of my my Pulse X around this area. Definitely after this. I seen it run up. I was like, all right, cool. And at that point I kind of stopped throwing money in. I was like, all right, I'm done buying in. And now I've just been riding it, and now we're good up here, man. And now that we see some solid support, I think is a good place to buy at the SAC rate. And if you see it dip lower, realistically this would probably be our next support here at 70%, 80% of the SAC rate. And if you see those prices, I definitely say get in. Right? So buy some now. And then buy some more later if it dips down. And if it doesn't, it is what it is. Be happy with what you got.
Right, and
you should have been buying back here when all of us were. Sorry.
And that's a whole DCA strategy explained in a nutshell, right? Just kind of buying when the market goes low. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's one of the most effective strategies in the game right now. Right. Right, and this is all kind of leading up to the fucking story.
Sorry, yeah.
Right. And. So I had these people that I knew, right, that were just coming into the game. And when you first come into the game, you come in hot on Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, ETH was my baby.
Right,
yeah.
And they're like, oh, Bitcoin is the only coin that matters. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, bro, you just got your feet wet. Like, you're just following whoever the fuck is telling you on YouTube or whatever. Because they would tell me like, oh, I watch this person. They say this and this and this. What is your opinion? And I would tell them my opinion, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's funny. Like that's completely opposite what this person's doing. So you got to be wrong." Right. That's going to be like the first conclusion that people are going to make, especially about us.
Right. Yeah, because we're still like blue collar workers. We're out here. We're working, man. Like we said, bro, we don't have like the most luxurious, Hollywood quality camera studio setup, but we got better than we're good. We got good enough for us. We got good enough for you guys. Right.
Right. Right. I mean, this is a lot.
I mean, it's better than some of the channels that I've seen where dudes are just literally sitting on the couch.
This took like what we can afford. We probably could afford it better, but what we were willing to throw at this investment.
Exactly.
Right? Money that we can afford to lose. Mm-hmm. Right? And a little know-how, a little spit, shine, and polish, and this is what we got right now, right? But anyways, so people are always looking to like discredit us or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because, when people are looking to making some sort of money, they always look to like the flashiest motherfuckers, right? It's how you get Richard Hart in the game and how he was able to attract such a big ass like user base because he was like, all right, well, these motherfuckers aren't going to listen to me out of pure logic. Right. Right. And dimes that I drop, I have to show them. Right? I have to show them that I'm the shit for them to believe that I am the shit. Yeah. Right? And we're not trying to say that we are the shit, but we will be. We're bigger shit or we're better shit.
We're just polished turds.
Than the other shit that you guys are following. So anyways, these guys, these two individuals, same story, just coming in and they're trying to preach to me how what they just learned from another influencer is better knowledge than what we're spitting, right? Which is cool because when everybody comes in, like they think that whatever influencer they're following is really out to look out for them. You know what I'm saying? Really out to make them some sort of money, and then somewhere down the line they're going to learn like, yo, this person just kind of just been using us to pump their bags the whole time, right? Yes, we show our bags. Yes, not because we want to make money off of you, just because these are investments that we are fully invested in, and we feel like, yo, these are going to go somewhere. Not because of the impact that we put on you guys, right? What we tell you, because let's not kid ourselves. We don't have like the biggest base here, you know what I'm saying? And we appreciate you motherfuckers, even though we don't have the biggest like support. You know what I'm saying? We have some of the realest ones in the games.
Yeah, all you brozos out there kicking it with your boys at Lowe's Bros. We're the bros. You're our brozos. We're all brozos. We're all going to make it. We're all going to make it.
Wag me.
So long as we all stick together, right? We all share our collective knowledge and just try to each one teach one, help each other out, man.
Right.
And figure this out, man. This is how it works.
So these folks, right? They're like, oh, you know, Bitcoin's gonna help me retire faster, and I feel them like, look. First of all, kudos to them for looking this way, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to get it. Something has to catch your attention, or you have to be some sort of devoted to come this way, right? Because there is a lot to learn in this sector. You know what I'm saying? It's still fresh or whatever. But anyways, they end up like disregarding my advice. One of my advices, they're like, well, what do you think about buying this, and at what point should we sell? And I was like, look, man, we're not looking to sell in the near term. We're looking for long-term holdings. We kind of have a projection, and that's just kind of what we're kind of following. We're not looking to get rich quick right now. We're looking to buy ourselves a lot more time with our invested time.
Exactly.
Because we were talking about earlier. We're like,
so just to kind of piggyback off of that is like the crypto market's gonna multiply what you put into it, right? And it might not do it in a day. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not a put in money today, you're gonna be rich at the end of the year. We've been doing this for a cycle. For those of you that don't know, we count cycles in about 4-year terms in crypto, right? Because of what Bitcoin does. It halves every 4 years, and then it does a massive run up. Right, same thing with stocks. Do something similar, man. New president comes in, and then bam, run up. Right, like it moves. Yeah. So that's what we count on a cycle. So we've already been in this for 4 years, man, since 2019. Right. Yes, it's still considered new, but we literally went through a full bull run and a full bear market now. Now we're getting back to a pre-bull run. So we've got a cycle under our belt now, and we studied through it. That's the biggest part. It's not that we didn't just we just hold our fucking coins like, oh, I bought Shiba back in 2019 and here I am fucking still holding it, not knowing anything about Shibarium, not knowing about anything else that they're fucking doing, the network, how the bridge failed, how it's fixed, and all this stuff, right? So, we've learned with our tokens, the ones that we were very adamant about.
Right. So we keep at it. So these people, they're like, oh well, this influencer told me to buy this, and this should perform this, and this is going to be this, outperform all these other asset classes, or this and that, right? One of the biggest things was him throwing like Tesla, right? He's like, yo, Tesla, they're saying that Tesla is going to outperform Bitcoin, and this, right? Cool, it did.
It might, yeah,
it did. This is why we don't hold Bitcoin, and why we don't preach Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin is daddy, and you want to watch Bitcoin. But for those of us trying to make these gains that were made earlier in the game, we have extended the amount of research that we do, and we are getting to certain areas where we're going to get into assets that are going to outperform Bitcoin, right? This is what we're looking for.
Exactly.
We're looking for assets that are going to outperform Bitcoin.
And you don't got to look far because Ethereum does it. Right. Now, we're playing the game on extra hard mode. And we're looking for assets that are going to outperform Ethereum. Right. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Right. And we've been pretty fucking great with it.
Right. We've been solid.
We've been fucking pretty great.
So go ahead, man. Your boy was what?
So after so much time, bro, and they were so fucking hyped, like that they found these influencers that are going to make the money. And I'm over here like, yo, like you probably shouldn't trade. You should probably just buy and hold, just DCA. Like it's the most effective method in the market. Oh no! Like, oh, that's so funny. Like, you're so silly. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know more than you, even though I've done no
Listen,
research.
We did it, bro. We did it. We tried that. We went there. We got fucking wrecked, right? That may not be the case for everybody.
Maybe not like wrecked, right? We didn't lose everything.
Nah.
However, I did notice fairly early on into my fucking crypto day trading, I was doing solid, man. However, everybody does solid in a bull run, man. I probably would have made more money just holding my tokens.
Bro, anybody can trade in a bull run.
Yeah, if you're not making money in a bull run, you gotta be silly. You gotta be very
you gotta be really
naive. You gotta be very naive. If you're not making money,
sucking suck.
If you everybody makes money in a bull run. Now, if you're making money in the bear market, like that's tough. Now, see, that's not me, man. I can't sit here and be like, yeah, man, I made money day trading in a bear market. It wasn't. Well, I started noticing that I was instead of increasing my bags of crypto, they were slowly diminishing to the point where I was like, you know what, man? Like, this is for the birds, man. I've literally made my higher earning fucking cryptos Hex at the time was a token that I was just holding and not trading. Made me more money than me trying to fool around with Solana or a Hex or not Hex. I mean, Ethereum and other ones. So I was like, you know what, dude? I think what Richard Hart has to say and some of these other more professional YouTubers or influencers and crypto guys say holding is the best strategy, man. It's proven to work.
And low key it is. Some of my best performing portfolios are because I haven't absolutely touched them at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Some of these portfolios that we just been buying and accumulating since day one. Well, not day one, but since day one fucking bear market.
Pulse and day one for sure.
Yeah. Pulse chain for sure. We were in it. We told you guys about the fucking the copying 1-for-1 onto the Pulse chain. If you were holding anything on Ethereum,
world's largest airdrop.
Right. Anyways, so the story continues. They're very skeptical about the information that I'm giving them or bestowing upon them, and they take this for a joke. Later on, late last year, right, end of the year, early this year, I get informed like, yo, took nasty spills, hefty, but the shit that you told me to buy, I held it and I'm up on that. And that's the only thing I'm up on. Pretty much the same story I got out of both individuals, right? We're not in here to be like, yo, we're just in here to be right. We're not. We're all going to make mistakes along the way.
I'm just here to make money.
But we've made a lot of mistakes in the past, and this is why we come and tell you about them so you guys don't repeat the same mistakes.
We're just here so we don't get fined.
So do with that what you will, but the proof is in the pudding.
Right. And yeah, man, and that seems to be the sentiment all around, especially us just starting. I'm still obviously working. I still have my blue-collar job, my brother as well. And I just had to get together with my friends not too long ago, and it was the same thing. I was like, hey, subscribe to my YouTube. They were like, no, we don't want to. And I was like, why not? I was like, it's just a subscribe, man. Like, show some support. And they're like, well, look, man. I was like, have you made any money? And I was like, well, like, I haven't made, like, huge. Like, are you rich? I was like, well, no, I'm not rich, man, but I made some money. And like, but you're not rich. I was like, so until you get rich, like, then I'll probably subscribe. And I'm like, dude, that's so sad to hear because realistically, once I'm rich, right, it's not going to be the time, the lows of right. Pulse Chain, Hex, Ethereum, Solana, any of these Phantom, any of these tokens that we're already telling you guys about are going to be long gone. The amount of gains will be diminished. You will not make the same amount of money as me. Why are you talking to me?
I don't know what that means.
Of course you don't. But but yeah, man, that's kind of what was going on, right? And I'm just like, that's why you guys that are tuned into us now, kudos to y'all, all you brozos out there kicking it with us, the brozos, the Lowe's Bros crypto family here. And dude, we're all gonna make this shit together, man. We've already got a cycle under us. We've seen the potential. We know where this is going. We know where we're at. We know that we're in the lows. Ain't nobody's talking about it. So, and then bam, bull market, baby.
So look, man, a lot of like these people that have generational wealth, like some of these big timers in the markets, or whether it be the stock market, the crypto market, it all took some risk. It all took exposing yourself some risk. And we're not saying take the risk on us and, you know, follow us, what we're doing or whatever. But, like, you're going to have to take some risk on yourself.
Yeah.
Which means that you're going to have to, like, siphon and decipher who it is that you should be listening to. And mostly of all, you should be listening to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of have a perception of what feels right, what doesn't feel right. Just know that if you're doing something different from everybody else, you're probably already winning.
Yeah.
Right? Because not everybody's going to make it in this world. It's going to be a very small fraction of the people that live in this world. And for you to go with the grain, with the crowd, you're probably going to fall in the footsteps of the majority. But now, if you want to take a risk on yourself and take a risk on some motherfuckers that tell you, like, yo, listen, we may not know everything, but we know a lot more than what you know right now. And we're going to help you avoid a lot of costly mistakes along your way. Shit, I wish I fucking had that.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that being said, right, next point of business is how to vet your influencers, man. Right? You want to make sure that they're putting out decent information, that they're showing you how to operate in blockchain spaces, right? In this technology, this emergent technology. And just kind of how to move left and right. The only reason I was so proficient in getting in and out of Pulse Chain, right when it launched, and doing ratio trades and knowing what's kind of going on, was because I was following, other influencers, man. Shout out to Dollar Cost Crypto, man. You really helped out with that. And I've seen them do it. I've seen them put out tutorials. That's how we put out tutorials. We don't just hop on and tell you like, yeah, this is the coins. Buy now. If you go through our other channels, I have 2 tutorials on how to get Pulse Chain directly, right, through the go.pulse.com, and how to bridge in your Pulse Chain, how to buy Hex, now that it's not really listed on Uniswap, and how to buy Hex for cheaper, right, for cheaper gas fees instead of buying it on Ethereum, and bridging your money over into Pulse Chain and buying your Hex there, man, because it's significantly cheaper, and it's Ethereum Hex, not just Pulse Chain Hex.
Right.
So it's pretty dope.
So we're talking about like betting the people that you guys are watching, right? And this is blockchain technology, and you want to see the people that you're fucking with, you want to see them really dabbling in the technology.
Yeah.
Not just buying and selling coins, but actually functioning on the blockchain, using DeFi, you know what I'm saying, using decentralized exchanges. We were talking about it earlier before the stream on how like one of the biggest influencers in the game, BitBoy Crypto. No hate, right? No hate. Just
shout out to BitBoy.
Just don't
he
come
had a
off.
Fat following.
Yeah, he probably will still. Next one, he'll probably have a lot of you in his fucking palm. But it's very important that you guys see the amount of work that they're actually putting in, and not just talking, this is hot for whatever reason. Like, how are you gonna believe anybody like trying to put you onto this new technology but really not know much of it themselves? And there was a situation with BitBoy Crypto where he launched some meme tokens or whatever the fuck earlier last year. And it was a complete fucking disaster, for one. But I remember in the initial setup of the whole thing, he didn't even know how to use a non-custodial wallet, which is one of the first videos that we put out there for you.
Literally. Right?
Because it's very important that you guys understand that why crypto. This is just one of the things that crypto brings to the table is the fact that they can't refute the fact that you own like whatever it is that you own, right? Like, it's on the blockchain, it's recorded. You can't dispute that. You can't take it back. But if you hold your money in a bank, if everybody decided to cash out tomorrow, guess what? That number means nothing. They can put a hold on it. They can do whatever the fuck they want to it. Matter of fact, they can declare bankruptcy. And matter of fact, you may not even get paid out. Mm-hmm. Right? So matter of fact, what they said that you had no longer is even irrelevant. It's not even relevant. It's irrelevant.
And that's exactly what happened, for example, with Celsius, that Bitfinex thing that was going on last bull run or last couple years. Yeah. And the most recent one was FTX. Right,
Silicon Valley Bank.
Silicon Valley, that's traditional finance. Yeah, the bank runs that happen. Like, it's real stuff, right, dude? Like, banks have at least an insurance policy to an amount, but crypto doesn't.
When you have your crypto on the blockchain, right, being in a non-custodial wallet, right, where it's in your actual ownership, everything else can go to fuck out, right? And guess what? You still own the assets that you own because it's recorded on the blockchain.
Yeah, they're yours no matter what, dude. Yeah, so that's kind of how that works, man. And that's like, you need to follow these influencers, man. And they're telling you to trade on centralized exchanges or sign up to this centralized exchange with my promo code, man. You probably might. I'm not saying to stay away from them because I'm sure they might have some good information, but definitely be weary of what they're preaching and what you're listening to.
And we tell you guys, like, yo, you onboard through a centralized exchange is where you want to primary transact and pick up some of these assets, but immediately transfer those assets to yourself on a non-custodial wallet so that you're in complete control of your funds.
Look, the other day, man, I was struggling to bridge some Ethereum into Solana. And I was like, dang, how do I do that? So my older brother, Peter here, Pete Crypto, was looking up ways to do it. Essentially what I did, man, I used a centralized exchange. I sent my money to Coinbase, converted it to Solana, sent it out to Solana. It all happened within a couple minutes. By the time we found out a good bridge to use, I was already done with the transaction, right? I knew a route, got in and out, bridged I essentially bridged my tokens over, man. Same thing with these bridges. You got to be careful. Pulse Chain's having a lot of that issue recently. Some guy tried to bridge in about $20 million, he says, allegedly. And he got rugged, man. He used the wrong bridge, right? You always want to make sure you find the proper channels. And normally you go to something like this, man. I'll show you guys a quick way to do this. You kind of go to one of these more known crypto market rankings, right? Like CoinGecko, Coinbase. You'll type in, not Coinbase, CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. You'll type in the token you're looking for, right? PLS, Pulse Chain. Right, so here we go, Pulse Chain right here. You click on that. It shows you, hey, this is the price, this is what I'm looking for. Then you kind of go to there. You got the community, Telegram, search, right, and it should have a website. So you click on their website, and if their website's decent, like this is nothing special, but it'll give you more links to the actual place that you need to go. So you want to bridge your money, boom, there you go, pulsebridge.com. And now you're on the actual bridge. And then it's easy. Then you do your transactions from here. You figure out how to use the bridge. But yeah, man, that's just kind of how it goes. You use these resources around you to get in and out of whatever blockchains you're trying to get into, right? And at that moment, I probably could have done the same thing with Solana. But it wasn't, I was having trouble. So like I said, I used a centralized exchange, but that's what they're there for. They're to use. They're a tool. You get in, you get out. I didn't put my money in there and then hold it in there. I got it in, I swapped it around, I got the hell out, man.
So long story short, man, like whatever you guys are watching, bro, you guys really want to see like their depth of level of understanding when it comes to like this new technology, bro, because this is the technology. Like people are coming into this market and like, oh yeah, we're just picking up like synthetic coins, virtual coins. Like this is not it. These are all new technologies, new reinventions of the internet, right, and how we transact with the internet in the future, right? Which brings about like where we're at in human growth, and we're on like the precipice of a new technological revolution. There's a lot of technological breakthroughs coming. We were just talking about. I was talking about how SpaceX has so many like scheduled launches coming up this year. Right. Whether it's like shooting shit off into Mars, some more satellites into the atmosphere, or whatever. And I was actually going through the logs right now, earlier before the stream, and it was something like 15 to 17. Launches happening this year. Just, there was a point in time, right, where people were just in the race to launch one rocket,
right,
and make it out of the atmosphere and miraculously make it to the fucking moon.
Yeah, well, not even just to even launch it out into the atmosphere, right? And be able to land back safely, or provide a package, a cargo, to be launched into space, like that first chimp, and be able to come back safely. Like that was just the mission. Now we got this dude who's launching rockets and bringing back the rockets safely, bro.
Yeah,
like yo, insane, dude.
You guys don't understand. Like we're on the precipice of a new society, right? And we're like, oh, bro, it's just fucking rockets. Rockets been around. Like the fact that there's this many launches in a year. And the fact that the cost is going to be a lot less than what it ever took to launch one rocket in the prior years is big. This Elon Musk is looking to send shit to Mars. Is looking to send more satellites into the atmosphere. As we know that he's doing very well with Starlink and providing a like global form of internet or communication to anywhere where you can be remotely in the world. Because it's all connected by his satellites, right? That he's launching to the atmosphere,
which is amazing, bro. Eventually, we'll be able to communicate all around the world. There will be no dead zones. Yeah. Every single place will have communication, and that just links everybody more together. Now you get these wonderful, beautiful minds, these people, these that just geniuses, right? That'll be able to come out the woodworks even faster and share their knowledge, in an instant, man. Just because one man figured out how to relaunch rockets.
Not only that, but correct me if I'm wrong, right? Which I'm pretty sure I'm not. There's other countries that are looking to launch their first launch to the moon, right? Because you got to think there's only been a few countries to actually get on the moon.
Yep.
Right? It's only a handful or less than a handful. Now you got other countries that are starting to catch up or trying to catch up, and this is a monumental step. Listen, we're prosperous. We're getting to about the same technological realm. We are now also going to certify that we can do what has been done before and get to the moon, just like other countries have been prior to us, which is amazing, right? Which is a big like marker for those nations that are just getting there now.
Yeah.
Right? So the rest of the world is catching up, and we're still making new breakthroughs. And with all this stuff, there's other technological advances that are coming off down from the ground, right? Here on Earth. Crypto being at the brink of it all too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way that we are going to do finance in the future and the way that we're going to interact with the internet in the future is going to be crazy. It's not going to be the same old Web 2, how to Google. We're looking at AI. We're looking at fucking AI doing all sorts of stuff from speech, art, visual effects, like, you know what I'm saying, assistance to the human brain, Neuralink. There's a lot of stuff that we're on the precipice of. Like, things are just starting. It almost feels like we're going into a new era, a new, more advanced era. And what better way to bring in the talks of crypto, literally a new technology in the brink of changing global commerce and finance.
Mm-hmm.
A 24-hour market that is now controlled by you lets you be your own bank, where if you have your funds in a non-custodial wallet where they're solely in your custody, they can't take that away from you and be like, oh, you can't have your funds.
Unless you bend the knee to these CBDCs.
And kiss that tip of the dick.
Right. So, yeah, man. So, that's just kind of what's going on, man. It's a lot of shit, dude. It's a lot of stuff, man. What else we got here on our list to talk about?
CBDCs.
Yeah, we got CBDCs, man. We have pretty much. So look, check us out. Not just CBDCs. It's about having your voice heard, right, dude? So obviously, as you guys know, man, crypto is still new. We are fighting the feds. We are fighting governments. We are fighting these globalized entities, man, that want to destroy crypto. They don't want to see this transfer of wealth. They don't like the fact that there's a new way to make a good amount of money, a lot of money, right? And that they're not solely in control of, man, which is, dope for us, bad for any sort of centralized government, right? For example, like the U.S., right, really wants to. China also did the same thing, but U.S. wants to roll out this centralized digital bank currency, right? Which I think is stupid because we already have digital currencies, right? People get paid in checks. It goes right to their bank account. You don't even see a dollar. You don't hold fiat money in your hand no more. Everything's digital. You swipe with a card, you get charged. And that's just kind of how it's going, man. I know China is almost to an extreme where it's almost linked into your whole biometrics. Anything that's yours, man, like it's your identity is now these cryptocurrencies. If you get fined for speeding, you do anything against the government, and they'll freeze your centralized digital bank currency, man. Then now you can't move, you can't transact, you have no freedom of speech, no freedom of movement, no freedom of nothing. You can't do nothing because the government's in control over your crypto
right.
now.
So in the way that the government portrays CBDCs as an easier method to get to like the crypto world, or an easier way of online commerce or online trading or whatever the fuck, but they want to make sure that they have their hand in it all, right? Just like the banks, right, where essentially they're taking your paycheck every week. right? They made it so that it's only convenient for you to make sure that your paycheck is invested into their bank every pay period, right? Because if you don't have that, they make it highly difficult. Like you can't just go to the bank and cash in. You have to go to the specific bank that is paying that amount and go there, or you have to go through like all these other methods. But it's never like, yo, here's your money, right?
Yeah. Never
that, unless it goes directly to a bank, in which case, like, oh yeah, your money's here.
Yeah,
unless something bad happens.
Right. Yeah. So that's crazy, right? So that's also why like this next segment of our video here kind of pertains more to like the United States, right, and the people that live in the U.S. Because that's where we live, right? So we're obviously involved more in our politics than foreign politics, but we are coming up on an election year. Right, we will be holding elections this year, November. We'll elect a new president. They'll take over in January. And, yeah, man, so at this point in time is really where you kind of, if you don't already kind of pay attention to the politics, I don't care what your stance is on it, whether you're like, oh, it's all rigged or whatever. It doesn't even matter. Like, it does matter to an extent, and you should ultimately try to get the people that are going to benefit you or cryptocurrencies elected, right? Because a win for crypto is a win for all of us. It's a win for the world. It's not just a win for the U.S., you know? So you kind of have to start being more involved in who and what candidates are going to be more pro-crypto, man. And the way I see it, man, as far as like, you know, the two-party system out here in the U.S. is kind of bullshit, but most of the Democrats don't seem to be too very crypto-friendly. Right.
And they're the ones that are trying to push the CBDCs.
Right.
Matter of fact, they're the ones trying to push more regulation on crypto, treating it as like they do stocks and other, you know, certain goods and assets, right?
And I'll show you guys a little article here. I'll share with you about kind of what President Biden was trying to do. Here's like the digital dollar, the Biden administration, who also wants to explore digital versions of the dollar. It comes as China has. Oh yeah, there's a whole thing where China has led the charge to it. Apparently, they've already been doing it. It's been going real bad for the Chinese people. But yeah, Biden isn't saying whether the U.S. should launch its own digital currency. Rather, he's calling on the government to place an urgency on research and developing a potential CBDC. Right, so they're not saying that hey, we're trying to implement crypto into our dollar. We're trying to create our own and see this whole CBDC thing is, man. And
you know what CBDC should stand for? To control banks, dollars, and crypto.
Right. So you guys are more than welcome to do your own research on it, man. I pulled this from CNBC, man, which is a pretty left-leaning news reporting station out here.
Which brings us to our next point, as to who we are kind of looking to for the next primaries, for the next president of the U.S. And we're going to go with the candidates that are going to convenience us.
Right. I'm not here. Like, I'm not a Democrat, even though we're a lot of blue. We're not Republicans, even though we're 49er fans. I don't think it has to do anything with it, right? But they wear red. We are 49ers fans, so take that as it is. But yeah, man, like essentially, man, there was this one cat rustling up a lot of noise, man. Goes by the name of Robert F. Kennedy, one of JFK's descendants. And he was actually trying to run for the Democratic Party. However, I think because of his pro-crypto stance, right, he kind of really wasn't getting enough backing from the Democrats, so he has now dropped out of the Democratic Party and is running for an independent party. He's not Republican for whatever reasons. He's not a Democrat now. Now he's an independent party. But this was one of the guys that I kind of had hopes for to see if the Democrats would elect him in. I don't think the Democrats are going to change or veer off their path. Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden. They're kind of going to stick with him because I feel like if they do go with any other candidate, it's just going to show weakness within their own party, man. I feel like you kind of made a shitty bed. Now you got to kind of sleep in it, man. For them to switch candidates now would look very poorly on the Democratic Party in the United States, man. But I'll show you guys a video of this RFK just to kind of, you guys can do more research on him too, see what you guys think, or even just open up your minds a bit to do more research on the Democrats, and see what kind of pro crypto stance they're taking and what's going to help out us. What's going to help out us instead of them or, central finances, man. So I'll go ahead and play the clip for you guys.
And so I've come here today to clear our independence, tyranny of corruption, which robs us of affordable lives, our belief in the future, and our respect for each other. But to do that, I must first declare my own independence. Independence from the Democratic Party. And from all other political parties.
We were Trump supporters, and we're just ready for change. We're ready for a change. We this whole Trump.
So yeah, man, that's kind of Robert F. Kennedy, kind of just throwing out his little 2 cents there on cryptos, man,
right.
and how it feels.
I don't think he really even say anything.
Right, he really didn't say shit about crypto, huh?
But so just so you guys know, he did have a pro crypto stance, which is crazy because there was only maybe a couple candidates that were coming out of the left, that were really kind of pro crypto, which is kind of big for us. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely having a hand in which way we're kind of leaning towards, and because of that, look, great for JFK, dope. Keep at it, fam. We're not voting for you, bro. We're not going to split up our decision. It would be a waste to do so. It's why other political parties don't really get anywhere. Is because if you waste your vote on some of these smaller candidates, unfortunately, it's really not going to make much of a difference because most votes are either going to go left or they're going to go right.
Right. So I'm not here to say who I'm going to vote for, but I am looking right now and researching our candidates to see kind of what's going on. Another gentleman that I've really liked his takes on crypto is this. What is it? Yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy. Right. He's a Republican. I believe he's dropped out now of the primary elections, and is now trying to endorse Donald Trump. But DeSantis dropped out. This guy just dropped out too. Ramaswamy just dropped out, I think yesterday, on the 5th. Yeah. He's now endorsing Trump as well. And DeSantis, I believe, he was also pro crypto, and he was the governor of Florida, and they were actually trying to release their own Florida token, right, just for Florida. So that was pretty cool. We probably won't cover that, but I'll show you guys this Ramaswamy guy.
A central bank digital currency, I believe, is a threat to liberty in this country because it creates a mechanism for the government to be able to wipe out your bank account or wipe out your dollars if you say or do something that the government disapproves of, as you see in places like China, as you see even happen to the Canadian truckers, the Freedom Envoy, losing access to their financial bank accounts. I think a central bank digital currency takes us further in that direction. I explained that to Donald Trump, and I give him a lot of credit for being intellectually open, getting to the bottom of it. He took advice from a couple of other people who he trusted around him. A few nights later, I saw him mention that. And again, last night when he and I were at that rally together, came out strongly in favor of what I believe is the right answer, which is to oppose the creation of a central bank digital currency.
So yeah, man, that's his take on it, man, and that's just kind of how it goes, man. I kind of agree with the man, dude. I think a central bank digital currency is a threat to us. It's a threat to the people that would hold it here in the U.S., man. I don't see why. People are already skeptic enough trying to, do this digital dollars and have money in the bank, man. People still hold their money in a safe in their house or under their freaking mattress, man. I don't think CBDCs, and like you said, China's having a very bad effect about it, where if you get caught speeding that whoever's plate that name that license plate is registered to, they'll link up your CBDC and take your money, man, without you even fucking knowing. The second you step out of line, it's just another form of control.
So that's what we're looking for, people that are swaying towards our needs or our ideals, right? Don't let these candidates make your ideals. Right? You should already have ideals in the way that you want your life to run and the way you want your government to run. and then you need to pick somebody that goes along those same ideals that you have, right? And right now, like people like Vivek is kind of where we're kind of leaning towards. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's really pro crypto and really for economy and equality, because the left likes to lean a lot more towards hyping up really big, massive businesses that don't really need help. As far as giving, like, instead of giving like the regular person a chance as well, you know what I'm saying? They want to go tax heavy on the people and cut more breaks to the people up top. That shit really never changes. The only thing that changes is whether we have the same shot as they do or we don't, right? And the left obviously does not feel like we deserve the same opportunities as higher money. And the right has kind of just been delivering more chances for us at the bottom to really kind of get somewhere.
So yeah, man. With that being said, Ramaswamy was one of the men that I was kind of really looking forward to see how it would play out during the presidential elections. Has dropped out for the Republican Party and is now endorsing Trump. Well, then now let's see what Donald Trump has to say. I do know he owns Bitcoins. I know he's a businessman. He's savvy. I think he did great running those first 4 years of his election, and we'll see if, if like lightning can strike twice, man. But for now, we got to see if he can even make it, and let's see what his stance is on cryptos before I even choose to try to make my vote for anybody.
Right.
I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. You know that? I didn't know you know so much. Well, New Hampshire, very smart people. Very current. You know what they're doing. Such a currency would give a federal government, our federal government, the absolute control over your money. They could take your money, you wouldn't even know it was gone. This would be a dangerous threat to freedom, and I will stop it from coming.
That's right.
And that's it, man. He's going to stop you from coming.
Stop it. Yeah. You don't want to, yeah. That part. I don't know.
But yeah, man. So like, those are two candidates that I was really looking forward to see, man. Was the RFK and Ramaswamy. I think was pretty dope. Trump also up there, man. And like, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing like a Ramaswamy vice president for Donald Trump type deal thing going on. I think that would be some that would for sure solidify my vote for Donald Trump for sure. Just to see two pro crypto guys in office,
right,
changing legislator, trying to find more, reasonable ways to figure out cryptos to work for the United States, man.
And I know there's a lot of other issues to weigh in when you guys are making this choice or whatever. But we're just saying, like, this is where our views are and our ideals are very crypto heavy.
Yes.
Obviously. And we still think that this is the way of the future, and this is the way of the transference of wealth. Obviously, the wealthy probably don't want this because they're going to be late to the game. That's why it's very crucial to get in when shit is the rockiest.
Well, we just had that Bitcoin ETF, right? So like that just goes to show you, they don't want to pick this up when it was $100, when Bitcoin was $100 or less than 100, less than 10, when it was at pennies. They thought cryptocurrencies were a joke. Only now that we've been around for like 14, 15 fucking years, do they want to be like, all right, cool, we can't do anything. And they've already tried to shut it down. Now that they're like, all right, man, this thing's running wild, we can't beat him, we might as well join him. So now they're trying to release a spot ETF at, what was it, like $48,000 Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? And now they've been selling ever since they released that shit. They dropped like $9 million worth of fucking Bitcoin. So they're selling. Obviously, they're creating this down pressure on it. They're trying to kind of manipulate the market now, right? With their big, greasy, fucking dirty hands. And that's kind of another reason why I stay out of Bitcoin, man, and get into these other smaller altcoins. Yeah. Some that doesn't have venture capital, some that doesn't have big, greasy freaking mitts on it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's dope to see how this technology is emerging in the United States, man. It's dope to see how it's evolving. It's amazing to see how the governments and different countries are kind of adapting to cryptocurrencies. As everybody knows, El Salvador has made it its legal tender. Everybody was laughing at them for making it a legal tender at $30,000, and when it dropped down to the bear market to $13K, everybody was like, "Oh man, El Salvador is decimated." Ain't nobody laughing at El Salvador now, even though we're on a fucking dip.
Yo, for no lie, and I mean, look, man. Like I said, that's just an educated like decision that you guys are gonna have to make on your own and get informed and you know what I'm saying, and whatever aligns with your vision. You know what I'm saying? That's all we're trying to say here. You guys don't have to do what we do. We're just saying like, yo, this is kind of where we're leaning at, just because they're kind of pro us and they're aligning with our ideals. Next thing is let's talk about where we are in the market right now. You know what I'm saying? People are furious that there was a little pullback in the market, calling it pure manipulation. We're calling it pure "we told you so."
Yeah, pure. We told you fucking so, right? But we're not here for that. Told you so's, man. We're not here for the applause. You know, we're here to see everybody go. That was fucking good. Fucking yeah. Get that going,
Anyways,
boy.
So, and even though we knew that this was coming, we still decided that we weren't going to pull out and we were just going to continue to DCA because, as we stress it, it's one of the most effective strategies out there.
Right. In these last few months and last few weeks, I've seen a couple people call the Bitcoin top, right? People call it hey, it's hitting 35,000. It's topping out. It's going to come crashing down to 10. And what happened, dude? It went up. It hit 40,000. That's the top. It's 40,000. We're only at 40,000. We're coming back down. Didn't. Went to 45. Didn't. That's the top. Not happening. 50. 50 is going to be the top. Right? And we didn't even hit 50. We hit 49,000. You know what I'm saying? And then only after it kind of corrected down back now here to what are we at? 30,000? We're at 39,000, right? So we went from 48,000 to 39,000. It went down $10,000. Now people are like, oh yeah, the top was definitely 49,000. We told you guys so, close to 50, blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing. Nobody can put an exact pinpoint, it's going to, unless you're Richard Hart, who's done it twice already. No one can really pinpoint the actual top of Bitcoin, man. This is it right here. From here is just straight down, right? If everybody had a magic bar, like, yeah, this is the lows, this is the high. No, we don't know. That's why we DCA. That's why you kind of accumulate these ranges like I showed you with that pulse chain chart. These are good places to buy. These are good places to sell, whatever, right? I'm not selling any of my pulse chain until next year either fucking way. So I'm just looking to straight accumulate when I have the money, when I have dry powder on the side, and when it just seems, logical for me, because I'm definitely not going to buy, high.
Right. And, I mean, since we are in a pullback, I guess DCA could commence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Why not throw a couple $100? And, so what do you want to show? You want to show them the Bitcoin chart and just kind of show them what's...
Yeah, just kind of show them, and then we're going to, like, the Fear of Greed Index, because people are like, where are we in the market? And the Fear of Greed Index does kind of play a big part in this all. It kind of dictates, or it doesn't dictate shit, but it kind of tells you, like, whether... what is the overall sentiment that people have towards the market, and that could potentially either push the market up or down. Me, more or less, if the sentiment is down, like, marks opportunity to buy, and when it marks high, greed index high, then it's probably time to sell a little bit or to keep holding, depending on where you're at. We've been talking about
where you're at in the cycle too,
where we're trying to get to. We're looking at somewhere around a year, a little less than a year from now, or somewhere around that range is what we're looking for. And in the near future, we're just gonna continue to accumulate as we have been, and nothing's changed.
Yeah, man. So as you guys can see, market cap's down quite a bit, man. About $400 million. I know we were I think we were hitting $2 trillion market cap for all of cryptocurrencies, right? So that was pretty cool. I thought that was dope. Bitcoin's obviously, like I said, had a retracement back. I don't really have a chart on Bitcoin, but even if you look over the year, nice good up. And now we're testing these little support levels here at 30,000, 39, right? Just 39, 37, 38 around there. Just seeing if it'll come back up from there. But nobody really knows. You can kind of check and see. This little fear and greed index kind of gives everybody a sentiment, see how everything's going, whether people are selling more or buying more of Bitcoin. And right now, as you guys can see, it's in a neutral position. So I think this was kind of already expected. everybody knew that Bitcoin was more or less gonna have to cool off and kind of come back down or retract down, as it's doing now, right? And who knows for how long that this is actually gonna happen, man? Like, it could be a good while. You know what I'm saying? Like, over here was a few weeks, right? You did this little pump up, and then we did these few months. What was this, March? Literally about a year ago, I did a nice little run up from looks like about a low of 20,000, and it ran all the way up to 27,000, right? 30,000. So yeah, then that kind of little cool off consolidation period for 6-7 months here, from May to September, November this year, November to May, from May to November. Consolidation, and then we had a nice little run up recently, the last quarter of this 2023. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more months of consolidation, right, on the chart for the next couple months coming up until the halving happens, and then we might see price go up before the halving, or maybe a little bit price up after the halving, and then a nice correction again after that, before, you know, that's like sounding the alarms, pound the drums. Fucking halvings happen. We're fucking seeing our dip. The 4-year cycle is staying true. Another cycle down. Get ready, strap in, buckle up, because we're going to the moon, and see Bitcoin launch up to new highs for the next year. You know, of 2025, end of 2024, into new fucking highs and new growth, man. And that's just kind of, Bitcoin does it. Ethereum kind of follows suit with it, and it'll do more. Then that's when you really want to be in your low market cap coins. I know we preached on the Solana a lot. I don't think 86 is a bad buy, right? I think it's still a little high. However, why not? If you have $1,000 on the side, why not throw in a, you know, $100, $200 here? And if it goes back down to 70 where it was over here, or hang on, if it goes back down to $70, right? If it goes, because it was just here literally in December. So if it comes back down to 70 or even 50, 60, throw another $300 here. And then at the end of the day, it goes down to 40, 50, then blow your fucking load. Blow your load. If this is one of the tokens that you have conviction in and feel like it's going good, for me, I will be doing the same with Pulse Chain, Hex, eHex, whatever the fuck, all the hexes out there, all the Richard Hart coins, right? But yeah, man, that's kind of the way I see it.
And before we move on to a different subject, I just want to explain fear greed index. It's just pretty much a gauge of like market sentiment. When there's like high greed, right, which means that the market is bullish. Yeah, it means that it's bullish, right? Oh, right there it says the index divided into the following 4 categories: 0 to 24 extreme fear, 25 to 49 fear, 50 to 74 greed, 75 to 100 extreme greed. So fear and extreme fear being bearish, and greed and extreme greed being bullish. And personally, when it's in fear or extreme fear, it seems to be like the best time to buy. And extreme greed or greed is usually like the time to huddle or sell off a bit, depending on where you are in the cycle or where you're at in your projections or what it is that you're trying to do. But that's pretty much it. Just kind of telling you how people are feeling, whether they're feeling bearish or bullish, whether they're looking to buy more or sell, right? Usually people sell at the wrong time, and usually people buy at the wrong time. So you kind of want to just do like the opposite as like the majority, right? Because the majority are going to buy once that, you know, people have announced how much money they've made, right? Just like earlier. Right? How they're like, well, how much money have you made? Like, why should I listen to you? Right? Well, because when I've made all that money, you will not be able to make the money that I made. And nor will I want to explain myself, because I've already spent this much time dedicated to trying to help you. And just because you lack the balls to follow suit and do your own research, because you don't even have to do what we're doing. You can just dabble and do what the fuck you want.
Right. You should like be... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Go ahead.
Are you chilling, bro?
Yeah, you shouldn't just be going off our word, and you know, you should be like watching us, watching other influencers, having your own thoughts on with the subject and what's kind of going on in crypto. And if you see a lot more people lining up with what you think, then it's probably the way to go. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not, then it's time to do more research, figure it out, and see if you're kind of in the wrong, or if something that you might have thought it's incorrect. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, dude, that's kind of dope, man. And you have all these tools out here to kind of check, and you yourself can be like, hey, man, like, how am I feeling, man? Because low key, I feel, I wouldn't say fearful, man, but I do think the market's going to keep continuing to come down a little bit more, man. I think maybe like 30,000 for sure will probably be like the low of this range before we kind of start to hit right back up and come right back. So that's the way I see it, man. But everybody comes to their own conclusions, and you guys are more than welcome to figure out what you guys want and challenge my theories as well.
Yeah, 100%. Well, with that all being said, we'll hop into some lighter subjects. How about, minimal risk, high reward? Right? How do you do that? People are going to tell you a lot of stuff. A lot of people are going to talk a lot about farming, right?
That's something I do.
Farming airdrops.
I don't really do that.
He farms yield, right?
Yeah.
Which is one of the biggest things to crypto is decentralized finance. Essentially, moving your money the way you want it.
Right. It's a compounding interest, man.
Loaning it. Getting yield off your loans. Essentially what the bank does with us, you can do that with the market. Essentially making you your own bank. Knock knock. Like this is one of the reasons why crypto is such a great thing. It makes
remove the middleman, to remove you saying, hey man, I'll put my money in the bank, and the bank loans it out for a higher rate of return and offers me fucking scraps.
Right. So farming airdrops has been one of like the most trending topics in the last few months. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of airdrops, and there's a lot of influencers out there telling you that they made thousands and thousands of dollars off of these airdrops, which is completely not true. Mm-hmm. A lot of these influencers are just kind of throwing fucking random numbers that just look appealing, and guess what? They work. They suckered you in, and they made you feel like that shit was appealing, that you could do it, and now you're sitting mad because you spent $200-$300 farming this airdrop, and you maybe got an extra couple $100 out of it, and these influencers made it sound like you're about to make thousands of dollars. Maybe in the long run, if you hold these projects and they're good projects, can they perform well? Like possibly. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of one of the things, like minimizing your risk. I think getting into some of the newer projects are a little more promising as far as returns, but then you have to siphon and check out like what exactly are these projects doing, what is going to ensure their success in the future, like what are they bringing to the table, are they doing anything different from anybody else, is their dev team active, how are their socials looking, going onto Twitter, Discord, fucking Telegram, like checking out like all the work that they're putting in, the leaks, announcements. You just, that's the type of stuff that you want to see when you're trying to like vet a certain project and trying to see like whether it's something that fits your criteria or, something that makes you feel like it's a serious thing. Because there's a lot of projects out there that are going to promise a bunch of bullshit, or things that really are super irrelevant, or doing the same thing that other people have done.
Or it could be complete outright scams.
Right? And, like I said, one of the best ways to check for all that is to see if they have concurrent, social medias, and the fact that they're constantly posting, which means that they have a marketing team, and seeing that they're constantly working, which means that they have a good dev team. Also kind of seeing like the people that are following these projects. Say if like you're on Twitter and you're looking at I don't know, motherfuckers mention like Uniswap, right? How do you know like Uniswap is like legit? If you're on the Twitter page and you're looking for Uniswap, like how do you know if that's Uniswap? Well, usually like the founders of like the blockchain that they're on will follow them, or really big projects, their DAOs, foundations will follow these projects. And being that you follow these people, like say for instance, we're talking about Uniswap, that's Ethereum, somebody like Vitalik would be following them, and somebody like the Ethereum Foundation would be following them. Other certain decentralized exchanges or other big projects on the network will also follow some of these upcoming projects that are legit. Because in a sense, when they are following or kind of like backing, they're kind of like saying like, yo, they're kind of clear for now, saying, without having to actually say it. And then you hop into their website and make sure that they have just some legitimate shit, some legitimate documents, things where you can see their roadmap, things that have, who's the dev team, who's the team actually working on this. Some projects might be like decentralized and may not have like a list of founders and stuff like that because it's decentralized, but you'll see it in their work and like the teams working on the project and stuff like that. Well, where does that come into play with low risk and high reward? As you guys have seen, some of the best projects are going to launch during these times when the markets are at these lows, right? Even though we've gone up a bit, these are technically still kind of lows for somewhere in the future, right? Somewhere in the future when things are gone completely parabolic, these are going to be looked at some of the lows. You know what I'm saying? Where you could have got in, but you didn't, right? And in these times, there's a lot of new projects. And for the reason why they launch around these times is to ensure that their projects don't go down so far, right? Because if you launch at the bottom, pretty much the most way to go up is up, right? And so with that being said, there's been a lot of new ecosystems and new blockchains added to the crypto world. Some being like Injective, say Pulse Chain, and a lot of times when these new chains come about, it takes a little time before the ecosystem starts to develop marketplaces, decentralized exchanges for that blockchain. In this case, I was very fortunate to like get into some like these new blockchains and like NFT projects, and not just any NFT projects, right? But a lot of them being like free mints, right? Because what's more low risk than zero money spent, right? If any money is spent, it's usually like minimal gas fees, especially on these newer blockchains that have like really fast transaction speeds and low transaction costs. You can get away with like having $1 or $2 on the chain just for transaction fees, and then minting some free projects. And I don't want you guys to just go out there and just start minting anything that's free, whether it's NFTs or coins or whatever the fuck. You guys need to do your due diligence and go through like all the socials, like you said, and seeing, what they're working on, checking their website, seeing what the roadmap is. And if it really catches your attention, like, yo, this sounds like a great plan, like they really got some shit going, then you might want to start to dabble a little bit in it. But some of these projects that I got into are like some NFT projects that were, some of the first NFT projects to launch on these chains. And with these projects also came, decentralized applications that were being built on this network by the team of these NFTs, which kind of gives you like insight, like, yo, these guys are really like building stuff, and you start seeing one product come after the next product and after the next. Like, well, these guys are really about what they said they were going to do. And then so you start to like, okay, well, whatever they promised in the future, if they've already delivered on what they said they were going to deliver, and whatever else they say they're going to deliver, you're probably going to be like, they're probably going to deliver that. Right? So that's, in that case, that's something that you might want to hold, and that's kind of the stuff that you want to get into, right? And yeah, man, like if you can get into something like that, it could probably give you some really good returns on essentially something you paid nothing for, which is very minimal risk. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you guys use a burner wallet. What's a burner wallet? Just another custodial wallet, non-custodial wallet that you use for like these DGen plays. You know what I'm saying? Like things that aren't really by the founders or by the actual like foundations that run the whole thing, but just some of the side projects or whatever.
Yep.
It's just kind of what you got to do. But got lucky with Injective and now Say, and a lot of these like profitable things were free mints. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get to that stuff? Just follow all your like big people in crypto. Like if you're into Ethereum, you gotta be following Vitalik, the Ethereum Foundation. You gotta be following all the centralized exchanges that are on Ethereum. DeFi applications, like all these big projects on those blockchains, like follow them, and you'll kind of see who they're kind of messing with, and you can kind of get like an early jump on some of the early projects that way. But yeah, pretty much that's it, man. So just kind of scoping out some of these new blockchains, not essentially buying in, but if you can get into some of these free plays that, kind of have a working team and kind of company behind them, you can kind of almost assure that you're going to see some sort of money in the future, even if it's just a few bucks. But if you didn't pay for it, like, are you really mad? You mad, bro?
You're mad. But yeah, man. So that's just kind of like a thing, man. Like free mints happen, airdrops happen. You don't want to chase them, like my brother was saying. You kind of make sure they got solid founders, that they're kind of in works with everybody. Like I got lucky on a couple, man, just for participating in Hex. Somebody gave me about 1,000 of these Pulse Doge tokens.
And he's talking about drops now, right? Because there is like ability to qualify for some of these airdrops for absolutely like minimal effort, which is probably some of the best fucking airdrops, right? Pulse chain, the forking being one of like the best airdrops, because all we had to do is hold our assets on Ethereum and then they automatically got forked over to Pulse chain, right? And without knowing, like, we just got assets that are worth something on another chain just because we held assets on one chain.
This is so dope, dude. I sold the high on this. That's funny. So so I was given this token called Pulse Doge, man, for just participating in stakes on Hex, right? I have a little stake ladder, right? Nothing crazy. But yeah, man, people, I sold out like at $10. I got the fuck out. They gave me 1,000 of them, bro. I was like, all right, man, see you later, man. I'm out. 1,000 tokens for $10, man. So yeah, it was cool. I got out pretty decent. Got out some money.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I made like a G. So it was dope. And that was all for free. That was money for free. If you go to like this Icosa Hedron thing, you get stakes, and then you can mint your Hedron. So I have about 7 million tokens that I can mint for free just for holding Hex, man, which is what I was planning on doing any fucking ways, dude. And on top of that, I'm earning an ROI on all my Hex for having it staked. So I just earning more and more free tokens that aren't doing shit, man. So it's
and these are all just plays that you get to by just kind of doing stuff.
Yeah,
just kind of fucking around and find out. Matter of fact, bro, if you guys would have followed us, you guys are in a bunch of blockchains, and before you know it, like, you guys are gonna get airdrops on some of these blockchains just for doing some minimal ass shit like swapping coins on a DEX.
Bro, the fact that I literally got a 1-for-1 copy of my Hex tokens, bro, for already just being in Hex. You know what I'm saying? I got a 1-for-1 copy, so all my stakes doubled. It's like, for what? Just for chilling on it, bro. It's bananas, man. And here's the Hedron thing. It looks kind of like shit, dude. But hey, the 3-month doesn't look too bad. It's gone up recently, man, about 100% and change, dude. Like it's moving up. It's still really low, and this is just a token incentivizing you to hold your fucking stake, to hold more Hex. So like, how much easier does it really fucking get, guys? You buy a token, you get into a good community, you participate in their loans and all their stuff. That's pretty much it, dude. You participate in their blockchain, and that's it, dude. You get free shit in return. I got Pulse Doge, which I sold at a high amazingly. That's crazy, for more Hex. And now my Hex is making me more Hex, dog. Like, I don't know how else to tell you guys, man. You got to participate. You can't just sit on a token and hold it in your wallet either. If there's a way to stake it, reasonably.
You could. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right, because it's buy and hold. It's a good strategy, right? But for us, a little bit more advanced, right? You start getting into these plays. I've also lost money doing that on Radium.io. So like, there is risk involved, right? And you got to have to find a way to mitigate the risks.
Right, and hot wallets is one of those.
And hot wallets is one of those ways, man. But yeah, dude, it's pretty dope, man, to just kind of have more tokens, just being minted, given to you for fucking free, dude. I did absolutely nothing for those Hedron tokens. I can mint them now.
So the name of the game is that, man. Accumulating the most for the least amount, right? Free mints.
If you get value tokens for free, like what more do you want? They're literally giving you free money for participating in what the token was meant to fucking do, dog. With just stake, you create a certificate of deposit CD, right, in Hex, and just hold your fucking tokens, bro.
Right. And whatever it is that you make now, right? If you are behind a really good project, you're looking at something that's probably going to blow your mind in the future. So like, don't go out there and just sell all your assets, you know what I'm saying? If you guys, I mean, if you want to take profit, all fine. Don't leave nothing. Don't not leave anything on the table. Make sure you always have something on the table at all times. You know what I'm saying? Because the worst feeling is getting out too early and leaving too much on the table. So if you do pull some profit, don't sell all of it. If you have 2 NFTs that you just did well for free, sell one, try and flip it, see if you can get more, and just make sure you hold one in case shit skyrockets and you cannot catch that.
Always have a moon bag. Just as we preach DCAing in, you also want to DCA out. You set your price targets, you set how much you're going to trim off your porportfolio, and then you go depending on how the market's going, depending on the fear and greed, depending on the overall consensus.
I like to say ladder out, right? Because DCA doesn't make sense because it's down cost average.
Right, okay, ladder out, same thing.
We're going up, so you're laddering out. What does that mean? You have like certain targets where you're just kind of pulling profit, but you don't at any point just pull it all out at one time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you have a little bit in there to the point where, like, if you do finally hit, like, the peak and you may at that point not have as much funds because you've already been pulling out all the way to the top, you still have this large chunk because it ran up to this point. And if you're able to pull out most of that, you've pulled out the majority profit. And if you don't end up pulling all of it out and it starts to go back down, you're only losing a small fraction of what you put in, and you've actually pulled out the majority of the biggest gains. You know what I'm saying? So you're really not leaving anything on the table.
And be careful when you're farming and when you're staking and when you're doing all this other stuff, because sometimes it does require you to lock up your tokens for a certain period of time, and it'll take a couple of minutes or a certain amount of time to unlock your tokens as well, right? So just kind of be careful and weary about that too, because you don't want to be locking up tokens when you know we're heading into a fat-ass bull run or in the midst of a bull run either, right? You don't want to lock it up for a year and then your tokens become unlocked during the fucking bear market.
Yeah.
It's like the worst, right? So always have, a good amount. I would probably do like a half and half type deal. You know what I'm saying? Half your tokens liquid, half your tokens not liquid. And then, staked, earning you, making you rewards, man. So, just let you guys know, man. Just be out there.
So accumulation is the name of the game, bro. Like, like I said earlier, I was telling my brother I did really good with this free mint or whatever. I was able to sell one and pick up 2, and I sold one with funds to be able to pick up 2 later on, hopefully, when it comes back down. But if it doesn't, I'm cool because I have one still in there. Right, but
so if it does move, it's catching the gains.
Right, but not at any point am I doing this to try and cash out right now. My vision is long term, and what I'm trying to do is try and stack up the most amount of assets for the least amount of money, and without having to actively trade all the time. Because I promise you, the longer you trade, the more amount of times you're going to realize that you're going to be losing more than gaining some, right? You're not looking for every single play. You're only looking for the right play.
Right, you just want to catch some.
Hopefully not to clap.
You ain't lived life till you clap twice.
That's what my boss used to say.
Right. So
all right, with that being said, it's your boy, Pete Crypto LBC. Follow me on Twitter and
Super Comic Guru 187. Sorry, the energy was a little low. We're late. We're tired.
And together we are Los Bros Crypto.
And you guys are our brotato chips.
Brozos.
All right, brozos. Catch you on the next one. Y'all be safe. Stay active. Don't get your hopes down. This is just a minor pullback. If it goes down lower, so what? We were already there.
DCA.
See ya.
And like Chris Brown said, deuces.